and record.
I just want to introduce our group real quick, and then we have some different testimonies, because the cool thing about God is we get to, when we're a part of His work, we get to experience it from our perspective, and He speaks things personally to our hearts. So I wanted, to have different people sharing kind of what God shared with them on this trip. Christina's going to be our first speaker, but I just real quick wanted to tell you, we had 109 children come through the VBS in this small Christian village. The sexual abuse rate in this area is 98%. Prostitution is legal. There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of darkness, and they're going to share that with you of what we experienced. A lot of people saw pictures, and we were laughing and having fun because we have fun praising Jesus. We have fun serving Him. But there is a darkness out there. Evil does exist. And we were able to kind of see that firsthand. It was shocking, I think, for all of us. What you say, guys? We go into this beautiful paradise, and matter of fact, first thing that was said to us as we were freaking out trying to find who we actually are supposed to go with after we get off the plane, a guy said, "Welcome to paradise," and we thought, yeah, this is pretty cool. But there was a lot of darkness. So I want each one to share, and then I'll follow up with some more statistics. Christina?
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Christina Dos Santos, and this is my first mission trip. I just want to say we felt all the prayers when we were there. God definitely opened hearts, softened hearts, and opened a lot of doors for us. The people in Costa Rica that we got to spend time with were very welcoming to us and very ready to hear what we had to share with them. I had no idea the extent to which God was going to use each and every one of us and me while we were there, and the changes He was going to make in all of us. I saw everybody pushed outside of their comfort zones, and I was definitely pushed out of my comfort zone. I just want to share that any experience that you had, even if it's before you were walking with the Lord or maybe while you were living in sin, God will use for His glory if you let Him. I learned Spanish at a very interesting time in my life when I wasn't walking close to Him. And He even used that while I was there. It allowed me to share the gospel in Spanish. I don't know the gospel in Spanish, so I prayed for words, and what came out was a message of love that the people were able, they just embraced it, I think. And He'll use everything, even down to the way you look, to reach people. One little girl wrote me a letter before we left, and it said that she would never, ever forget me. And that was really incredible. And I just want to encourage everybody in here to mission, regardless of where you are. Mission in your neighborhoods. When you feel God pushing you outside of your comfort zone, embrace it, and He's really going to bless you if you do. Thank you.
What?
My name is Derek. I just want to say that this trip was such a blessing. Starting out, I didn't look at it as like a trip. My mom said, it was a mission trip to Costa Rica, and I thought, vacation. This is going to be awesome. And we had meetings once a month, and every time I go to a meeting, I just had this attitude, I don't want to be here. I don't feel like doing this. This is a waste of time. And it really got to my mom. I guess it hurt her a lot, that I had this attitude. And even when we got in Costa Rica, I was there. And the whole time I'm thinking, this is vacation, And we get there the third day of VBS, and this kid comes up to me. His name was Lenny, and he tells me, he's like, "Thank you. You're a good friend." Something somewhere said inside me, that's why you came. Because you made a difference in that kid's life. And he messaged me on Facebook and just said, "I want to let you know that you're a great friend." And I just got so happy. It blessed my day to know that. And it was just, the trip put me way, way outside what I like to do. Because, even when we're at dinner, I was at a table of all girls, and they're like, "Well, why doesn't a male pray?" And I had my head down, and I was like, looking around, like, who's Mel? That's it. I really don't like to pray in front of people, but I ended up praying, and then even just kept getting smacked back into place. We went ziplining. I was just being way too cocky, and I was like, I got this, watch me, I'll go first. And Carissa was in front of me, and I got to the first platform, and I literally wrapped my arms around Carissa, and I was like, don't let go. Don't let go, I don't want to fall. But the trip was just amazing, and it was really cool to just be around different people that, you're around a church, but you don't really know who they are. And it was really cool to see them and get to know them, and it's a blessing even all week long it's been a blessing. We've been in this messaging group on Facebook, and my phone's going off at work, but I'm like, they're crazy. But it's been really awesome. So that's what all I can say.
I really am short. I can barely see over this podium. I just wanted to say that God used this amazing team to do some amazing things while we were out there for His glory, and it was such an honor to be part of that, to see the things that we saw and do the things that we did for these people. It really touched my heart. The first day that we were there, we had a little bit of downtime, so some of us went to do some beach evangelism, pass out some water and tracts on the beach. And we split up in different groups, and we walked up to this group of young men, and that's where we met Eduardo, who's a local surfing instructor. And no sooner did we hand him the tract before he was pulling us aside and asking us to pray for him. And I say us, and Karen. Karen talked to him most of the time. He spoke English, which made it much easier on us. He had heard some information that morning about his mother that was very distressing to him. He shared with us that he knew God as a child, but had strayed. He wasn't walking, the path that he knew that he was supposed to be walking. And he was really bothered by that. And he said that he felt that God had sent us to him purposely. And so we prayed with him, and ended up inviting him back to our worship and devotion time. And we were all surprised when he actually showed up. But we got to know Eduardo, and he shared with us that he had an addiction problem. He had a crack problem, and he even smoked it that day. So he was very honest with us. Like I said, we got to know him very well. He rededicated his life to Christ.
Amen.
Not only that, we were able to connect him through the missionaries there, the Kidwells. We were able to connect him with a local church that whose pastor specializes in addiction recovery. So we really got him into the right hands. So God knew what He was doing, putting us all together and putting us where we were at the right time. So it's just amazing.
Pastor Fred mentioned a spirit of love. This group is just amazing. It was this way all week long. There's such a bond between us all. We've all formed a bond that we'll be tied together forever. The love is amazing. And I love all of you so much. I am so blessed to be with you all. This mission trip started out for me as a personal mission for a friend of mine that I lost back in April of last year. He was actually raising money to go on the mission trip last year to this pregnancy center. And he lost his life working for the Lord. As soon as this trip came up, me and Jen signed up immediately. I had no idea what I was getting into, didn't know how I was going to handle anything. Total shock. I mean, for me, it's stepping out. I'm a very reserved person. I kind of check things out, look around, make sure things are safe before I poke my head out. And I poked my head out on this trip last week. And even leading up to this trip, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it, what was going to pull me out of it. I was just very nervous. I had a lot of not a lot, I had a couple personal issues that I had to deal with before this trip came. And the Lord gave me strength and I got through them.
Amen. Amen.
I'm a 48-year-old man. I've never flown before. And my buddy Nick, this 10-year-old young man right here, sat right in front of me. And there's no way I could let him see me sweat. And I had a good time with Nick. I probably acted like the youngest one all week long. With the loudest hollers, the funniest faces. But I was blessed. I am so blessed to be a part of this group. And as a church, I feel like we should be so proud